Hello, I am making chicken and dumplings, which is our traditional Christmas Eve dinner. Once upon a time, when I had lots of time, I used to make a homemade stock, but I don't anymore because when I started to work, it was too much time. Another video would be how to make a stock from a chicken, but we're gonna cheat and buy box stock. What I particularly like is this vegetarian no chicken broth. It has no tomatoes. Tomatoes in the stock change the flavor of the stock. The amount of stock is essentially determined by what covers my vegetables. I have a carrot for everybody, so that's 8 carrots. I have 8 potatoes, which I will drain, cut up, and an onion cut smallish. Now, Carly, you can go in. One package of the soup does not cover my vegetables. It's important to cover your vegetables because you want to have room for your dumplings. And I find that if you use all chicken stock, which you can, but I find that it's a little strong, so I use one of the chicken stock to go in here. Why am I using such a big pot? Well, I don't have a medium pot, and you want to have enough room in the pot to put your dumplings in and to cook your chicken in, but you don't cook your chicken until you're cooking your dumplings, because the dumplings take 20 minutes to cook. We have our veg in the pot, and because there is seasoning already in the boxed stock, I am not going to add anything else right now because I don't want to over season anything. Bring that to after 20 minutes, thereabouts, the vegetables are fork tender. Then we're ready to move on. What I do is I add, this is 2 packs of chicken because I doubled the recipe. So it's 2 packs of chicken thighs because we prefer dark meat, but it's really kind of up to you. But at this point I add the chicken into the stock and give it a stir. You don't want to cook the chicken beforehand because it gets tough and it gets overcooked. Now, we mix our dumplings. Bisquick is the preferred dumpling thing. I know that we can make them by scratch, but they're a pain in the ass. So dumpling always are good with Bisquick. The recipe calls for 2 cups of Bisquick with 2/3 cups of milk. That's never enough dumplings. So we double the recipe. So I add my Bisquick. And my milk. It's very important that you want to get it mixed, but you don't want to overbeat it. So you're essentially working until your dough is wet, and then leave it alone. And oh look, we have more biscuit because I'm casual about the way I measure. So we can add a little more milk. All right, that sets that up nicely. Excuse my fingers. And once What we want to do now is get our stock back up to a good hot boil, which takes a minute because the chicken has cooled it down. We are essentially going to follow the recipe. We're going to drop our spoonfuls onto the boiling stew or soup and then reduce heat and cook it uncovered for 10 minutes. Then we cover it and we cook it for 10 minutes longer. Here we go with the magic. Almost. Turn it off. They say, but Judy, these dumplings seem a little dry, but you don't want them to be wet because then they get soggy and they're gross. So we have our wonderful old spoon and we just start dropping them on. And you have to be careful not to burn yourself because it's hot in there. Can you get a close-up of this, Carly, just to see how we just place them right on top of the liquid? You don't want to lollygag because you would like them to get all cooked at the same time equally. And of course we wash our hands before we do anything like this, because our hands are in the food. If you don't use a big pan, you don't have room for your dumplings to grow, which is why I use this big pan. Everybody will fit. All right. And we do 10 minutes on our timer, because I never can pay attention. We're going to turn it down to about medium. Beeper has gone off, and you can see how fat they are right now. And we are going to cover them and cook them for 10 more minutes. I wish you had smell-o-vision so you could smell how good it is.